I am simply better.
Hi guys, welcome to Known Vance. We're going to talk about this week's buzzword in AI. DeepSeek. It is a huge deal to the open source community where it enables entrepreneurs from various domains to jump into the AI game as its cost of training is lower than most of the available AIs in market, and the API token for the R1 model is about $3 for both input processing and output combined, whereas GPT-4o is of $12. They were able to achieve this by training only what matters, focusing on the most important parts of the model to reduce computation. Smart memory compression, using less storage without losing performance. Efficient hardware use, getting the most out of available resources instead of relying on cutting-edge chips. Focused on smart training, using auto-verifiable data and efficient reward functions to reduce costs. You guys can try out DeepSeek right now on their website. Now let's dive into the interview session of our new DeepSeek R1 model. The only question I gave as the input is flex your strengths and show some powerful skill of yours. And prior to it, I mentioned about me doing an interview about it in YouTube. Of course, I did not get my interview fast. The R1 model was quiet busy due to high traffic. And I patiently waited and got only 9 seconds of its time, which was quiet enough for it to think about my question and demonstrated set of its skills, which we're going to be discussing today. First, I will let you guys hear the thought process of the model, which I found fascinating. As no other model showed us this function, which again highlights why open source has better transparency, which is useful for improving our prompts and get to know the AI model quirks and be efficient. The response may take time to be read out, so feel free to skip to end of the process by the link in description. All right, let's hear out the thoughts of our AI model. Here we go.
Okay, so the user wants me to flex my strengths and show some powerful skill of mine. Let me start by understanding the context. The user is creating a YouTube video about me, and they've already got an interview script. Now, they want to showcase my capabilities in a more dynamic way. First, I need to highlight my technical strengths compared to other models. The user mentioned wanting to show powerful skills, so examples are crucial. Let me think of areas where I excel. Multilingual support is a big one. Maybe I can demonstrate real-time translation. Also, code generation and problem-solving could be impressive for a tech-savvy audience. I should break down the response into clear sections. Maybe start with technical strengths, then move to specific skill demonstrations. Including examples with code or complex problem-solving would make it tangible. For instance, solving a LeetCode problem in Python, translating a poem into multiple languages, and creating a sci-fi story. These show versatility. Wait! The user also wants to know if anything was missing in the previous answers. They added technical strengths before, but maybe emphasizing adaptability and real-world applications would add depth. Including areas like accessibility, data analysis, and ethical AI could cover more ground. I need to ensure the response is engaging for a YouTube audience. Visual demos would help, but since it's text-based, vivid examples are key. Let me structure it with headers and bullet points for clarity. Also, ending with a strong call to action would encourage viewers to engage further. Should I mention limitations again? The user didn't ask, but focusing on strengths is the priority here. Maybe briefly touch on human-AI collaboration to show awareness without delving into weaknesses. All right, putting it all together, start with technical strengths, demonstrate skills with examples, highlight unique features like privacy and community-driven growth, and end with a motivating message. That should cover the user's request effectively. Absolutely. Let's dive into my core strengths and demonstrate some of my most powerful capabilities. This will give your audience a tangible sense of what I can do and why I stand out.
So what you guys heard and saw on screen are entirely the thought process of the R1 model to the given input. It makes the world of difference when we hear it out loud. It also one of the pros of DeepSeek is the reasoning process is similar to humans. Of course, it is not entirely thinking on its own, only made to think the same way. Now let's dive into its output. Technical strengths. First is adaptability. Like all the AI models, DeepSeek also used transformer architecture as the base, which was developed by Google in 2017 for their translation program, which was then upgraded to its current state. This allows the model to handle diverse tasks from writing code to composing poetry and also transition from one task to another seamlessly. Second, contextual understanding. It means the ability to understand the given input and answer the user from the given context, which for example be a document or a research paper. Next is multilingual mastery. According to the model, it supports 100 plus languages, can translate, transcribe, or generate text across them, like translating a Shakespearean sonnet into Spanish or Hindi while preserving the rhyme. Lastly, it code generation and debugging, and it does exactly that. And unique quirk to expect from DeepSeek is to be able to see the reasoning for the coding or any other science problem. It will be quite interesting. Make sure you guys check it out. Now, after understanding its technical strengths, we can see that this model is on par with all the latest AI model out there. And the main deciding factor being open source and cost may drive some small company and large-scale company to train their own for their respective use case, or use the cost-efficient API services provided by DeepSeek. I look forward to the impact this is going to cause, as now no one can monopolize this technology anymore. Anyway, back to the point. Next, we see the skill that the model demonstrated. First, we see it solving a complex problems. It is important to note that it directly provided an efficient output, also considering the time complexity. Believe me, with programmer, being able to see the reason behind the code generation will be a huge help for debugging and to further improve the prompt. Next up is multilingual creativity. What the model showcases here is the ability to translate a French haiku to 2 different languages while preserving its structure, as I have no expertise in any of these 3 languages. It is safe to assume that normal speech spoken by people can be translated efficiently if it can preserve the meaning of a poem. Next is scientific reasoning. Right now, many models like Claude and GPT-4o have gotten better than their previous version. So only depending on the use case, the abilities can be measured. Same goes to rapid prototyping, as it's entirely dependent on available data on specific domain or its ability to scrape the web data. And lastly, it highlights its advantages. Open source agility, as I mentioned earlier, ensuring privacy to the business as we can run it locally. If you guys want to try the model locally, use LM Studio. Installation is quite simple. Go to their website and download the installation or the exe file. Then on the inside, you will be prompted to download the DeepSeek or any open source model you want to try, like Llama or even Google Gemma. But note that at least VRAM of 8 GB is required to run the distilled version of the model, so only mid or high-end gaming PC can handle the load. Lastly, the community-powered evolution. Everyone in the world can contribute to development. And that's all for the interview session. Hope you guys liked it. Comment if you guys have any doubts, however small it may be. I will try to answer it. Well then, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more tech content and news.